Welcome to the Transportation Transpass presentation. This video tutorial will review the Transpass delivery, distribution, and oversight process for school administrators. The goal is to improve understanding of Transpasses, eligibility, delivery, distribution, and oversight. We'll begin with eligibility. The weekday student Transpass is produced by SEPTA for the School District of Philadelphia. It is distributed by the school district to schools for eligible students. Students must be a resident of the City of Philadelphia, be in grades 7 through 12, or grades 1st through 6th only if busing is not available. To qualify for a Transpass, students must live 1.5 miles or more from their attending school, or 1 mile or more from the school if the student is homeless or refugee. Some general Transpass usage guidelines. Transpasses can only be used by students for their travel to or from school between the hours of 5:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. No evening or weekend use is permitted. Transpasses may only be used when school is in session, and adults may not use SEPTA student Transpasses. Only students on the Compass eligibility list should receive Transpasses. We will review the Compass Transpass report further on in this presentation. Delivery. Transpasses are delivered monthly for weekly distribution. Transpasses will be delivered by a Dunbar or School District of Philadelphia driver. The number of Transpasses delivered is based on the number of eligible students in Compass. Designated school employees will present the Dunbar-issued authorization and location card, or copies of the card with the barcode. If the scanner used by Dunbar or authorization and location cards are unavailable, the driver must verify identity by requesting the school-issued ID or PA ID of the individual who accepts the Transpasses. The driver must require a signature and printed name on the delivery manifest or receipt. Notify Rose Seaman, who is our Transpass coordinator, at rseaman@philasd.org. If the authorization and location cards cannot be located, transportation will pay for the one-time replacement cost, or to report discrepancies in the number of Transpasses received. Transpass distribution. To safeguard the Transpasses and protect them from accidental loss or loss from fraud, the school district recommends that 2 employees be involved in the distribution of Transpasses. Step 1. Schools will print out the list of students eligible for free student Transpasses from Compass on a weekly basis. You can either print the list alphabetically or by homeroom. Step 2. Use the Compass list to distribute the student Transpasses for the following week of SEPTA service. Confirm that the Transpass is given to the correct student. Students must provide a signature next to their name when receiving a Transpass. So if you're using the alphabetical Transpass list, you will require students to provide a signature next to their name in the school column to indicate receipt of a signed Transpass. And if you're using the homeroom Transpass list, you will require students to provide a signature next to their name in the notes column to indicate receipt of a signed Transpass. So let's review that. So we're going to go into Compass. This is the Compass landing page. You're going to go up to New Reports, click on New Reports. And this will take you to the Compass Reports page. You're going to go to the Students tab, and you'll click on the arrow here. And you'll see that we have our homeroom Transpass list and the general Transpass list. The general Transpass list is the Transpass list that will print alphabetically. So we'll start with the general Transpass list. Provide a scenario, so you'll click the drop-down arrow, and you'll select the current school year. And only your school will appear. So for our example today, we're going to choose 262 Academy at Palumbo and simply click View Report. And you'll see that the Transpass list will appear. So you're going to export the Transpass list out of Compass you'll click the Export drop-down menu arrow. And the ideal file type for the Transpass list is Excel. So you'll click on Excel and you'll wait for that report to download. So for the sake of time, I've already downloaded that report, and you'll see here's the Transpass list. And right in the school area, we have some room. So this is where your students will sign once they receive their Transpass. So let's go back into Compass and we'll view that homeroom Transpass list. So you'll just simply click Homeroom Transpass list. This looks a little different than the general Transpass list. Again, you'll enter a scenario. You'll select the current school year, 2017-2018. Click in the schools box and just begin to type in your school name. And your school will appear. Select your school. And then you're going to click Active Students and View Report. And here's your Transpass list. So you can automatically print the list by clicking on the printer icon. I generally will select Print from Adobe Reader, and that will print out a PDF. You can also download. You just click on the icon here, and again, Adobe Acrobat is a good file type. So for the sake of time, I've already downloaded this report, and this is what you would print. And you'll see here on the Homeroom Transpass list, we have a nice section in the Notes area. Once your student receives their Transpass, they'll sign under the Notes column. So once you've handed out all the Transpasses, whoever is the person that, if you're doing homeroom, then it would be the person that's handing out the Transpasses in the homeroom, or if you're doing alphabetical, the person that is handing out Transpasses probably for the whole school. You want to verify that the students receive their Transpasses, and how you're going to do that is you're going to sign on top of each of the Transpass lists. We also want you to email a copy of the signed Transpass eligibility list to Rose at rseaman@phila.sd.org. And you can do that monthly. In conjunction, you're going to complete a summary of free student Transpass form monthly. You're going to attach the completed summary of free student Transpass form and the student Transpass list for the month. So you'll have your weekly Transpass list, and you're going to email all of that to Rose at rseaman@phila.sd.org. So let's take a look at that form. So the good news is this is a fillable form. Once you begin to enter in numbers, it's going to auto-populate and do the math for you. You're going to put your school name, location number, and the month. So our example here is January 2018, and you'll see that we've actually had 5 weeks in the month of January. So this section, this first section, Summary Student Transpasses Received for the month, is going to be a summary of the initial delivery and any additional deliveries of Transpasses that you received. So you'll see on the 1-3, first week of January, that, and you'll get this number from the Transpass list. The number of Transpasses that you received for the week are 535. So there's 535 eligible students on the Transpass list. And then something must have happened this week or the week prior, and now you have 5 additional students that are eligible for Transpasses. So you would then put in that extra 5, and what you'll see is each week you'll just break down the number of students that are eligible for the week or that you received the Transpasses for, and the total for the initial delivery is 2,675, and the total for the additional delivery is 25, making that a total received for the month of 2,700. Section B, Summary Student Transpasses Distributed by the week. We have our first week here, 1/3/18. Now it's 540 students because you had an additional number of students eligible. You distributed 531 Transpasses, which left you 9 Transpasses that are undistributed. Moving on to the 8th, the week of 1/8/18, 540 students are eligible. You distributed 533, and 7 are undistributed, and so on and so forth. Nothing's changed for this month. It looks like no new eligible students or students dropped off. So the total eligible for the whole month is 2,700. That's that 540 students times the weeks in January. You had 2,662 Transpasses distributed for the month, and you have 38 that are undistributed. And once you're complete with the Transpass report, you're going to sign it, and the principal must sign it as well. So again, to recap, you're going to send the summary of free student Transpasses along with all those Transpass lists for the month to Rose Seaman. You're going to send that monthly to rseaman@phillipsd.org. Retain a copy for 7 years. So where can you find this form? You're going to go on to the school district transportation website. So here's our website. You're going to click on schools, and you're going to go down to transportation oversight and distribution. And you're going to go down to distributing and returning Transpasses. You'll click on the text that's highlighted in green, Summary Free Student Transpasses form. You'll click on that, and that'll take you to the form. You can complete that on the computer. So moving back into our PowerPoint here. Okay, so returning the Transpasses. We have our Dunbar Red Book, and we have our return plastic bags. The bags in the book are provided by the Armored Car Service. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into the Red Book, and you're going to notate that you are returning 38 Transpasses. So the column here that says bag number, you want to record the bag number that you're using to return the Transpasses, 1602437. So you'll see that that's the bag number. The description is return Transpasses. I have 38 Transpasses that I'm returning. And then you're going to take that barcode label, and you're going to fasten that onto the return bag. You'll put the 38 Transpasses, you'll seal the bag, and on the bag you're going to put your location number, the date, your school name, who the bag was prepared by, and the number of Transpasses that you're returning. So that concludes our PowerPoint. You'll be able to find this PowerPoint on our transportation website. If you have any questions, again, you can email Rose Seaman at rseaman@phillipsd.org. If you have any questions on Compass or general questions regarding eligibility, you can visit our Compass Training and Support page under the Schools tab on the transportation website, or you can email your routing analyst or compass@phillipsd.org.